Hello my book friends, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to one of my favorite videos that I make every single year, and that is my favorite books of the year, this year being 2019. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but this reading year has been kind of not so great for me. I only read 50 books when my goal was 80 books because last year I read 70 books and I always up at 10 every single year if I make that goal. But I just read a lot of not so good books this year. I found myself DNFing a lot of books which are very therapeutic. I suggest you guys do it if you're reading a book and you don't like it. Just put it down. It's not even worth it. I continued to read my favorite authors, yes, but new authors, no, couldn't find any that I enjoyed. But there were some good ones this year that I'm so excited to talk about. So let's just get into it. My favorite books of 2019. Deity by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Now, there's a lot of Jennifer L. Armentrout books on this list, and that's just because I love her books. I love her writing. Her books are so entertaining. Her characters are so funny, and just her stories are just so fun, and I never have a problem reading her books. They just always captivate me. And this one was the third book in the Half-Blood series. I have made book reviews for all 3 books that I've read so far in this series, and I had just made a review on the 4th book. So get ready. You guys need to read this series. Like, you gotta read it. And I put this one on the list because the plot twist at the end, okay, and then also there was a plot twist in the middle of the book that had me freaking out. I could not get over it. I was like, you know when you get so excited, or if this is just me, sometimes I get so excited with books and like I'm so happy and I just can't stop smiling and my eyes start to water because I'm like that excited. This is what happened when I was reading this book. My mom was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you looking like that? I'm just like, I couldn't even say it. So, and I'm not gonna say it to you because it's spoiler. You have to read this series. I love it so much. It was so good. Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This book was so cute. I loved it so much. This was definitely a contemporary book that is probably one of my favorite contemporaries that I've ever read. It's about this girl who loses her mother and then has to go live with her father in another country, which is Italy, and she meets people along the way, and there's like a lot of mystery actually that I wasn't expecting in this book. A lot of adventuring throughout, you know, the city, and like it was just so great. It made me feel like I was in Italy, which is amazing because I've always wanted to go there. It was such like a light-hearted read, but also had some sad parts that was just perfect. You know, sometimes like in contemporaries, like you have to have like some sad moments that it just makes you connect so much more with the character. And I connected so much with this character, and like this contemporary book, I just could not put it down. It was just amazing and I loved it so much. And if you're looking for a really great contemporary read, I suggest you pick up Love and Gelato. Storm and Fury by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Oh man, I've been waiting for this book for a long time. If you guys have read the White Hot Kiss trilogy, this is a continuation series, like series or trilogy. It's probably a trilogy. It's about new characters, but also with the same characters in it, and it just gives me life. I love going back to characters. Sometimes it can ruin a series, but like when an author does it correctly and right, and just it just makes it so much better. And I love these characters. I love the story. There was a plot twist at the end that I did not see coming. Any of the books that I talk about in this video that I have reviews on will be in the description box below, and I also have a review on this book. And if you guys haven't picked it up, or even picked up like the White Hot Kiss trilogy, like guys, hot gargoyle, like shapeshifter people, like, and I can't say that. That's like spoiling. I want to spoil you guys, but like I'm not going to because like I hate spoils myself. Just pick up the White Hot Kiss trilogy and then pick up Storm and Fury. It's amazing, okay? Amazing. I'm gonna say that a lot in this video because these are the most amazing books that I read this year. War by Laura Thalassa. These books get me every time. This is the second book in the Four Horsemen series. It's amazing, guys. Like, oh my gosh. The first horseman was pestilence. It's like the end of the world, apocalyptic. They meet a girl. The girl and the horseman like connect, but there's like lots of struggles and just like back and forth. Love the first book, but actually I have to say, I think War was my favorite one so far of the series. I loved War. I thought it was just so great. It was like he comes to Earth and he's just like all about war and stuff. Like sometimes I hated his character, but like also I really loved him. It was just frustrating, you know, because like you don't want to love him because he's killing so many people, but also you love him because like it's complicated, okay? It's like a love-hate relationship. As soon as War sees our main character, he calls her his wife, and he thinks she's his wife. This sounds kind of psychotic, but at the same time, really interesting. I think you guys are gonna like it. You guys need to read it, okay? Read it, please, and tell me what you think. Coming in at number 1, this was my favorite book that I read this year, and I'm still reeling about it, and I'm so excited for the second book. Can't wait. I need it now. And that is Off Planets by Aline Aaron. How do I put it into words how much I loved this book? This is a sci-fi book about a girl who's actually really important because she's from a different planet living on Earth. What I really loved about this book, I did a full review on it, so if you want to go check that out, you want more details, check that out. Seriously, you guys need to read this book. The second book comes out in February and I'm like literally so excited for it. I loved our main character. I felt like she was such a strong character. She was also so funny. I loved our side characters as well. And there's this one guy in the book and he's my favorite of all time, and I'm so excited to see the second book and how the relationship grows, or if it doesn't grow. Like, I don't know, but like I'm literally so pumped. And I don't usually pick up sci-fi books, but as soon as I started reading this book, I was hooked. This author's writing is just so captivating. Like, I can never put her books down. She also wrote the Alpha Girl series, which is one of my favorites ever. I have book reviews for those as well. Something about her writing just always makes me feel so happy, and I just love the characters that she creates and the worlds that she creates. And so this book was my favorite of all 2019. Now next, I saw Christine from Pulling Bananas Books on her favorite books of 2019 video. She also talked about her favorite books of the decade since we're going into 2020, which is weird. Isn't it weird? Oh my gosh, in 10 years I'll be like 30 because like I'm about to turn 20 like in September in 2020, which is weird. I feel like I'm getting old, but like I'm only 19. So like not old, but like, and if you think about it, like in 10 years, I'll be 30, which is not old. But for me at 19, it's a lot older. I'm gonna be talking about my favorite all-time books that I read in this decade, my favorite books that like really influenced me. When I started this decade, 2010, I was 10. So I wasn't really into books. I wasn't a very good reader. I didn't like books. I can't believe I'm saying that. Like, I really did not like books. I didn't like reading. I found it to be really boring, and I hated when teachers made us do reading every single year. Can you believe it? Like in English class, it was a requirement to read like at least like an hour every single night. Why did I ever complain? Like, I wish my teachers were like, you're required to read 1 hour every single night. That's your homework. Like, please give me that. I want that back. So let's give the medals to my favorite, most influential books of the decade. Coming in third place, we have the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I feel like every single book in this series has just gotten better and better. I love our main character, and I love the other main characters that Sarah J. Maas brought into this series. Our main character was so strong throughout every single book, and I just see her character development in every single book, and it was so amazing to go on this journey with Selena Sadarthian and all the other characters. And I loved the finale that we got. It's just one of my favorite series ever, and I don't think I'll ever let it go. Coming in second place with a silver medal, we have The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. The Infernal Devices Oh my gosh, I loved these books. I remember me and my friend freaking out over these books when we were reading them in the 7th grade because of Will Herondale. Like, Will Herondale literally is one of my favorite characters of all time. I will never get over Will Herondale. I love him so much, and I'm so excited for Chain of Gold, which is coming out in March. These characters just became so beloved to me. The world is amazing. I just can't believe how intricate and just amazing this world that Cassandra Clare just made up is. I don't know, like, I feel like such like a connection to the characters because I've read so many books with like so many different characters in the same world. It feels like I know them in a way. I loved every single character in this trilogy. This trilogy has influenced a lot of my reading. Cassandra Clare books are the books that made me realize that YA was actually a genre and that there was other books out there that I could also be reading. So yes, this trilogy is very near and dear to my heart. Coming in at number 1, who gets the gold medal of the decade, is Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan. Well, for one, this series is definitely one of my favorites of all time because this is the series that got me into reading. I would have never been a reader if it wasn't for this series. Let me just tell you the backstory of how I even got into the Percy Jackson series. First, at one of my birthday parties, I watched the movie with all my friends and I was very intrigued. It was like right when the movie had came out. I was like, this is pretty interesting. Let me see if I can read the book. Well, in the 6th grade, I had the book in my locker for an entire year because I wasn't a reader, but my teacher made me read, and I had the book because we had to check out a book at the beginning of the school year. So I picked up Percy Jackson the last minute, never read it. It stayed in my locker for a year. And then the 7th grade, when I did watch the movie, I picked up the book again, read it in one day because I was so addicted to it, read the entire series, and then my life was changed and I became a bookworm for life. And I'm so grateful to this series. I'm so grateful to the author for gifting me this series because I honestly don't know what kind of person I would be if I wasn't a reader. I probably wouldn't discover my love for writing and maybe my dream for becoming an author one day. It's just amazing how one book series can change your entire life, and this book series definitely did. So guys, that was my favorite books of 2019 and my favorite books of the decade. So cheers for the new year and also for another great reading year. I hope next year is even better for me and for you. I would love to know what your favorite books of 2019 were, if you have any recommendations for me. And also, let me know what your favorite books of the decade were. Which books have influenced you the most this decade? So that is it for today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!